Let's bring in our panel for Friday night. I'm going to label them the Power Panel from now on. Small Business Women Australia's Amanda Rose and Sky News contributor Joe Hilderbrand. Welcome to you both. Well, look at Amanda wearing power red to celebrate the victory of Donald Trump by the look of her. Let's start with Trump. The Republicans' resounding win. We all watched it on Wednesday. Sky's coverage was outstanding, watched right around the world. We heard earlier from Miranda Devine that the Labor Party here can probably take some lessons out of that victory. But, Joe, just the same, I think Peter Dutton can probably take more lessons out of it, can't he?
Yeah, well, I guess if the Labor Party's strategy is really to make Peter Dutton Australia's Donald Trump, they're going to need to revisit that pretty quickly. The story of the Trump election is not so much the story of Trump winning as the Democrats just absolutely hopelessly and haplessly losing it, and not just losing the campaign, but completely losing touch with working class middle Americans. They have become a party that is captive to affluent coastal elites, a party that is captive to the scourge of identity politics, where you're instantly oppressed based on the colour of your skin, regardless of how you're doing economically, regardless of whether or not you can put food on the table. And again, a bunch of working class people in America, a huge number, decided, you know, screw this, screw you. You do not represent me. And this included, for the first time, I mean, forget all the Puerto Rico outrage, this included for the first time a majority of Latino Americans, Hispanic Americans. And so they were saying, no, we don't want to be defined by the colour of our skin. Again, an increasing number of black Americans also voted for Donald Trump, a huge number when you consider the inroads that he's made to where they used to be. It used to be, 90% would vote for would vote for the Democratic Party and 10 for the Republicans. Well, that number has doubled and possibly more when it comes to the vote that turned out for Donald Trump. These are ordinary people in working class areas, ethnically diverse areas, who are saying, screw you, elite progressives. We don't listen. We don't want to tell you to tell us what we think, and you're certainly not going to get our vote anymore.
Amanda, I mean, straight to your area of expertise. I mean, most of the people who voted for Donald Trump in exit polls said it was about cost of living and about the economy. Where have we heard that before? This next election in 2025 has to be about people that you deal with on a regular basis who say it's too expensive to live here these days.
And that's right. So, Joe was very descriptive and correct when he was describing, the Democratic Party. They rub shoulders with the elite. They ignore the everyday person. Countries are made up of the people who build small business, who have families, and they can put up with a lot, but sometimes they go, that's enough, I can't feed my kids anymore and I can't pay my rent. And that is happening here in Australia. People don't want a celebrity promoting something when they can't pay. They've got to choose between food and rent. So I think both governments, but Labor and Liberal in Australia, need to pay attention to that election. Don't look at, why did they win? Or Democrats, did very bad at promoting. No, it came down to the fact of Trump really does love the American people, and it comes through when he speaks. And with the Democrats, they literally said to the American people, you're stupid if you don't vote for us. That is not the approach to take. You have to genuinely care about the people. And there are a lot of MPs, I'll say, on both sides of politics that genuinely care about the people. But are the leaders going to be smart enough to put them out front and have policies that actually are going to build back Australia? Because right now they're drowning.
Yeah, well, they better, because they get punished otherwise. Let's talk social media. National Cabinet, they met today. They don't meet face-to-face anymore. It's all over Zoom, which I thought had been run out of town, but apparently not. Joe, a social media ban for under-16s. Nice idea. How the hell are you going to make that work?
Yeah, well, it's a good point. I mean, in many ways, we're not going to be able to make it work 100% of the time. There's going to be leaks. But again, going to what we were talking about before, I think this is one of those examples where Anthony Albanese and the federal government has come up with just a really strong, mainstream, family values-driven, common sense policy that you just simply
Joe,
cannot argue with. Absolutely everybody on all sides of politics is behind this. Yes?
Yeah, but don't forget. But don't forget, it was actually Dutton's policy originally, and then Albanese came on board. And it's great that they can work together, but the reality is, if I always am suspicious when Labor and Liberal work together what the real motive is, but just so everyone knows, it wasn't an Albanese policy.
Actually,
well, how are they going to make it work? They say they're going to get
put it on our front page and told them to do it. But I think just as a parent,
they say the big tech
being able
guys
to tell
are going to be the ones that have to implement it. How's that going to happen?
How's it going to happen, Joe?
I think it just makes it easier as a parent to tell your kids that it's... No, but just telling your kids that something is against the law is helpful. It puts the fear of God into them. No. And also having those barriers there, even if kids are able to have workarounds or will be, I mean, there's ways, for example, you can get behind paywalls. That doesn't mean that newspapers just suddenly abandon paywalls, because most people do the right thing, and it serves as a really strong psychological barrier, and it's a great aid to parents.
No.
Now, you two, I'm not a chocolate person. I don't particularly like chocolate. I'm pretty rare, I guess. But we've got pictures here that appeared online of a block of Cadbury chocolate on a shelf at Woolworths, priced at $7. And we've got packets of Tim Tams being sold for $6. Amanda, that's outrageous.
Look, I say it's time to go on a diet and cut out chocolate, because that is absolutely ridiculous. Can I just say, if you want to save money on chocolate, make your own. I've done it many, many times, and it tastes so much better. Get the ingredients. You can make your own. It could be brownies, chocolate, get a mould. Do it yourself, because what happens, we've become so complacent with this easy life. We just grab things and eat it instead of cooking and making our own. But right now, with the cost of living, we might have to go back to doing that.